A long, long time ago, in the 7th century BC, China wasn't one big country like it is today. It was made up of lots of little kingdoms. These kingdoms were always fighting each other for land and power. They needed a way to protect themselves, so they built walls to keep out their enemies. These first walls were simple. They were made of dirt and rocks piled up high. Some walls even had watchtowers so guards could see if anyone was coming. These walls were the very first steps in a long history of building. These early walls weren't connected. Each kingdom built its own wall for protection. Imagine them like separate shields, each one guarding a different kingdom. It was a time of lots of fighting. The walls were a symbol of this struggle for power. Hundreds of years later, in the 3rd century BC, a very strong ruler came along, Qin Shi Huang. He conquered all the fighting kingdoms and brought them together. Qin Shi Huang wanted to protect his new empire. He ordered all the walls to be joined together. This was a giant job. It took millions of workers. They carried dirt, rocks and bricks. They worked really hard to make one long, unbroken wall. The wall stretched for thousands of miles. It was called the 10,000 li long wall. The Great Wall wasn't just a wall, it was also a road. Soldiers could march along the top. They could get to where they were needed quickly. The wall was also a symbol of Qin Shi Huang's power. It showed everyone that China was now one united country. Over many, many years, different families called dynasties ruled China. Each dynasty added to the Great Wall. They fixed old parts and built new ones. The Han dynasty, which came after the Qin, made the wall even longer towards the west. This protected them from groups of nomads. The Ming dynasty, who ruled from the 1300s to the 1600s, also added a lot to the wall. They faced threats from Mongol invaders. The Ming rebuilt big parts of the wall. They used stronger materials like bricks and stone. Watchtowers became bigger and fancier. Life on the wall was tough. Soldiers who lived there had to deal with very hot and very cold weather. They were far from their families for a long time. Their job was to protect China from enemies. They were the guardians of the wall. The Great Wall of China is an amazing piece of architecture. It goes up and down mountains, across deserts and through grasslands. The way the wall was designed is really smart. Its height and watchtowers gave great views of the land. Building the wall was a huge challenge. Without any modern machines, workers used simple tools. They carried heavy stuff across difficult land. It's hard to imagine how big this project really was. It shows how clever and determined people can be. Today, the Great Wall is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Millions of people visit it every year. It's a symbol of China's history and culture. The wall reminds us of the past. It also makes us think about the future.